Welcome back to Headliner. So, Nick, we have a story in the Express now that could hardly have been more perfectly judged to anger up this show's audience.
Yes, well, you described it in the break as Suella Braverman and the Golliwogs, which I said was my favourite band, but actually you said Suella and the Golliwogs. But anyway, let's get on with this. So Suella Braverman slams police for sending 6 officers to seize Gollywog dolls from pubs. So this was in Grays in Essex, and they sent 6 officers to pick up 15 dolls. That's one officer. That's 2.5 dolls per officer. So this is the way we're using our resources in this country. Now, these were Gollywog dolls. I wouldn't have them in my pub, but is it the best use of resources? And what happened was Suella did the usual thing of screaming into the wind and saying, why on earth are we doing this, but not actually being able to affect any departments. And so it just happened anyway. And they were seized under a suspected hate crime. And a particularly ridiculous bit is that it said the police took them away, and it says... Police said, as he is the licensee, they need to interview him, and they've taken away his dolls in the interim. How infantilised are we as a culture? How authoritarian? We're going to take away your dolls, Lewis. This sounds clown world stuff, isn't it?
It's almost impossible to satirise it, isn't it? Because it says 6 police officers, as you say. It's even if there were, like, boxes of dolls. It's just ridiculous. Absurd. How can they possibly justify that? You would only take 6 if you expected some sort of
resistance,
physical, if not, say,
on the dolls.
Resistance.
If they're like Chucky dolls, they could resist.
What do you think, Lewis? I mean, it's...
I don't know.
We should acknowledge it could be an inflammatory... I don't know. I mean, is it likely to...
I would say, I don't know. I didn't live in this country when there was such a thing as Gollywog dolls, and I don't understand the importance of it, but I have heard about it. And it sounds like you're having, like, Nazi memorabilia up in a pub in maybe a Jewish area or something, where Jews could walk anywhere.
Yeah.
We could. So it's not nice. It's not nice. But should it be made... Is it against the law to have Gollywog?
It wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't say... I get what you're saying, but I wouldn't say it was remotely comparable to Nazi memorabilia for this reason. Although, to be honest, if you want to collect Nazi memorabilia, as long as you make clear that it is just like a collection of war memorabilia, it depends how you view it. If you kind of like bow to it at the end of the evening.
Well, are they bowing to the
Gollywog?
I grew up with a Gollywog, but always feeling less comfortable with it. I recognise my parents were a bit sad when it came off. It was Robinson's marmalade, wasn't it? Yeah. Because we didn't have, and I'm not like getting into this deeply, but we didn't have slavery, we didn't have minstrels, we didn't have Jim Crow. So it was quite denatured. It was like deracinated. It was just an image of what was a quite comical, very smiley face that you didn't kind of go, oh, that's a sort of playful mockery of the supposedly simple-minded, black children who live in... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, we had no idea.
We had no idea. It was just a thing, like Andy Pandy was a kind of puppet marionette. But I think at this point you have to recognise that, we are all living in a global village.
Especially,
it's almost impossible
especially if you put it in a public place where a black person could walk in and see that and think, maybe I'm not welcome.
Well, that's why I said it would not be in my pub. But the separate, obviously offensive in that sense. But the question was, do we need 6 police officers to... Why couldn't one guy just come in if we had to do it and just round them up?
Yeah.
And,
or in fact, just get somebody to go in and smash the window. Just kind of like kick off about it. That would probably solve it overnight, wouldn't it? Saying that, people might be shouting at me, some viewers, because as we said, is it his right to have them in there even if it is offensive? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pub, but you could say it's a public place. I would say as a libertarian,
it's a business.
He could have it, but he's kind of be stupid because black people wouldn't want to go in there, and people who had friends who were black people, who cared about black people, which is everybody nowadays.
You never know, though, that it is conceivable, again, we must round this up, but it is conceivable that people who've grown up and live in Grays in Essex who understand that it's part of the culture there and it isn't meant with a hostile intent, so maybe they can take it.
And let's be honest, the person who complained was almost certainly a white woman.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.